It is 2025. Yeah, it is. Welcome to 2025. I hope you had an amazing holiday season. Most likely you might still be in it right now if the kids are home still from school. And if not, maybe there are the reasons why you're still celebrating, but keep celebrating because you know what? It might be a new year, but it is a continuous journey of your life. And if you didn't listen to the last episode, please do so because I spoke about the importance of just continuing. And if you have new goals, to set goals that will work for you, that you're not just going to end up stopping in February, like a lot of people do, right? A lot of people do that. Join membership like gyms, get a membership, come February, boop, boop, boop. Everything stops because they're not following what is their true desires. All right, but today's episode is not about that. Today's episode is about the 7 steps to find your purpose and align it with your life. Yes, it is. So, have you ever felt like you're chasing multiple goals, but still feel unfulfilled? What if the key isn't doing more, but aligning your life around one powerful purpose? So I'm going to get more in depth with all of the steps. But before I get into that, welcome to the Stay Vibrant podcast. My name is Melanie Kiss. I've been in the health and wellness and fitness industry for over 10 years now, and I am an expert NLP coach, and I've been guiding women over 40 to find the balance and align it with their mind, body, and soul, to not just focus on one single thing, thinking that that's going to bring them purpose and happiness in life, but how you could align your ego with your soul, with the mind and the body. I know it seems like a lot, right? But it is simple once you take it one step at a time. So those 7 steps, it's a process to not just discover your purpose, but it's also to stay aligned with it. Okay. So we have to go with one goal at a time because that's how the brain works to reach that goal. And if you haven't listened to a few episodes ago in December, I spoke about the neuroscience behind it, and it's really quite interesting. So it's important to focus really on one single goal. It is really crucial to do so for true transformation. So what you want to do first is maybe figure out what your goal is. One goal, right? And maybe you're feeling a certain way about that goal. Maybe you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you feel like, let's just say as an example, you want to lose weight, you want to start exercising regularly, but in the past you've always stopped, or as you would, a lot of people say, I failed, but look at it really as a learning process. Okay. So you have your current state, and now what you want to do is identify the desired state of that goal. So is it really about just losing weight? No, if you had a magic wand, what would that look like? What would be that desired state on what your goal looks like? That's what you want to focus on. A positive vision, a positive goal. And you want, again, we're going to repeat this. It's so important to think about one specific goal at a time, because a vague goal or too many goals, it scatters your energy, but a clear one will direct you right to it. Okay, so think about that one goal. Think about the magic wand. So if you want to paint a huge picture at first, go ahead, paint that picture. It's amazing. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. But then stick to that one goal to get started. And now I want you to think, okay, step number 2, I want you to think about your environment, because your environment really will shape your success. So again, let's just say that it's exercising 3 times a week. Okay, what does that look like for you? Do you work 9 to 5? Do you want to hit a gym? Do you want to do this from home? Do you want to just do things outdoors? What does your food look like? Are there people around you supporting you, your family members? Are you having to not just take care of you, or do you have to take care of others? When you do meal prep, are you just making your own meal, or is everybody in the household jumping in with you? So think about that environment that you are creating in that specific goal. And think about whether or not that workspace supports the mindfulness. Okay. And if there are things that you feel might not bring you to be able to reach that goal, I encourage you to just start with small changes in the environment, right? So maybe you're not going to change all your meals right away, but it might be just your snacks. Maybe it will be to do walks most of the time and maybe a couple of workouts from home because you need to be home. You can't necessarily go out to a gym. Okay, so really think about your environment. Now that you figured out your desired state and your environment, what does your behavior look like? So, what habits, what daily actions will create towards those results? Okay, so your behavior needs to align with the person you're becoming. So, if your goal is to get fit, consistent movement becomes essential. Okay. So behavior equals action, and lack thereof might be what is not bringing you towards your goal, right? But again, I want you to stay in that positive, desired state at this moment. Okay, because it's really easy to fall back into the current state because your ego is trying to protect you. And you might have fears or doubts. That's what the ego does. So try to stay current into your desired state. Really paint it, shine it bright, add sprinkles to it. Just stay in that state of mind. All right. Now you have so many capacities. You have the capability to be confident. You have the capability to move. You have the strength to build new skills. Especially in today's world, we are in a world of information overload. And so, again, these are just your capabilities, your capacities to focus on new skills. Focus on what you're really good at. Okay. And identify maybe some gaps. Maybe you're really great at time management, but need to learn meal prepping, as an example. Right? So, how do you gain those capacities? So, sometimes it's hard to think about the capacities that we have, and sometimes we just need to sit back and really focus on what we are on the positive side. So, maybe you're highly motivated, maybe you're extremely inspiring to coworkers. So these are all capacities that you have. And I'm sure you have a lot more, but quite often what happens is that we don't take the time to sit down and really think about those capacities that we currently hold within. And some of them are hiding, right? Because they're afraid to come out in case we move things around towards the positive. But how great is that if you were to allow yourself to let those capabilities be known and used, right? All right. So we're at step number 5, and that would be your core beliefs. Okay. Beliefs like I am capable or I deserve health and happiness fuel progress. And limiting beliefs, however, can hold you back. So here's my tip: take a journal and write out your beliefs. And you want to put a lot of emphasis to put a lot of strength into those positive beliefs. And if you feel like some of the limiting beliefs are sneaking up on you and you're not sure what to do with them, try to ask yourself, what am I gaining by remembering or living or living those limiting beliefs? What are you gaining from believing in those limiting beliefs? And quite often we might have a positive belief that in the long run we discover that it is limiting. And that could be due to past experiences, cultural reasons, childhood memories that we saw maybe our parents say all the time and do, and it was positive. It wasn't necessarily bad, it was positive. And however, what happened is that you've carried that belief with you. And today, as an adult, to reach your goals, you realize that that belief is actually limiting because you've evolved. The world has evolved. And you are in a different space. So I want you to really think about your beliefs and write down, like I said, positive or negative, and see if any of them change, like a positive into a negative one, or I should say a belief into a limiting belief. All right. Number 6, values. Oh, I love this one. So values are like health, freedom, connection, family, respect, authenticity. These are all values, and there's so many. So think about what values are important to you. And again, like beliefs, there might be a value that you really feel strongly about that you thought would carry you to reach your goal. However, you realize that that value is not necessarily yours, but something that you carried from your past because that's what you heard your entire life, but really it is not your value. So remind yourself to what values will carry you in a positive manner towards your goal. And I would ask you to rate just 3 or 5 core values that align with your goal. So again, you want to get healthy and you realize that health is a very important value of yours. Okay. And you start thinking about your life and you realize as a child, health was an important value in your family as well. But you neglected it for a few years. But it was so ingrained in you to live a healthy lifestyle that you want to remind yourself that value is extremely important to you and to honor it. There's an exercise that I like to do that I have in my course, and I can't just say it like this because I would need to sit down and give you the exercise. And then from there, we would discover all your different values and then what to do with those core values that you discover. And then there's like other steps to take. But it is super interesting to see how one thinks that a value that they currently believe in that's important to them takes kind of a sidestep Not to say it's not important, but takes a sidestep in certain goals that they want to take, because another one takes precedence over it. And once you kind of realize that and figure that out, you're like, oh my goodness, okay. It helps with that alignment to really push forward with your goal. And it feels natural and it feels good and doesn't feel forced. All right, step number 7, your true identity. So, true identity will be different for many people. It's who you're becoming as you achieve this goal. It's what will solidify that alignment with your mind, body, and soul. When you see how this goal connects to your greater purpose, it motivates you on tough days. You know, those days where you're like, I just don't feel like it. And you're like, okay, I'm just not going to exercise today. And there's no guilt. And you're still feeling great and happy because you know you'll just move it along on another day. That's when you've really reached that high achieved goal, because you're feeling aligned with your purpose. Because you've realized that it's part of your life. It doesn't just end, it just lives within you. And when you're able to feel that existence within you, that calm and that peace, it's like hitting nirvana. It's you could feel the entire energy of your body calm down and rejoice. It is amazing to see the energy shift in someone when they were able to align all of those steps that we just went through and reach that point of true purpose, true identity. And it's not a thing. Often what I'll hear is capacities that people have, and they believe that that's their greater purpose. But their greater purpose is a deep, connected feeling within you that just resides within you. You don't need to search for it. It's right there. All right, so those are the 7 steps. Okay, let me go over it. So you got your desired state, right? Your environment, your capacities, your behavior. You have your values and your core beliefs, and your true identity. And there's another step, because all of this will bring meaning to your life. So once you've asked yourself all these different questions, and if you have downloaded the 7 steps, there's prompts for you to follow, and you will discover your true identity and how this all aligns with your meaning. What meaning will it give you? What meaning will it bring to your life? So like I mentioned before, you got to be careful because the ego has resistance, right? The ego might want to protect you by resisting change. So just acknowledge it, but allow your soul to guide you. Really tune in to your heart, to your, what a friend of mine, Eleanor, would like to say, your intuition, right? Focus on your soul and what it wants for you. Because your ego, even after all the healing in the world that you've done, the ego's there. It will come and sneak up on you. but the bigger part of you has healed. So it will be easier for you to bring your ego and soul into alignment. It's like I used to say when I first started, it used to be a huge mountain. And now it's like a little hill when things go wrong. And I also have the tools now to coach myself and to what is happening, what do I need to change? And I go through the 7 steps to see what I need to work on. So your soul will reinforce focusing on that one goal at a time, and the brain thrives on clarity. When everything is clear, holy smokes, things are so much better. So work through these 7 steps for each goal individually to avoid overwhelm. So again, 7 steps, one clear goal, create that foundation for a life that's deeply fulfilled and balanced. And like I mentioned before, if you haven't downloaded the 7 steps, like I'm talking about it now, but you haven't downloaded, the link is in the comments. Download it. It's free. I'm giving you the cheat sheet. This is what I learned in school. This is what I use with my clients. It is an amazing guide. It's short. It doesn't need to be long and complicated. So go ahead, download it. Let me know what you think about it. I would love to hear from you. Comment here or comment on Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're listening or tuning in from. And let me know if you have any, not just questions about the guide, but how it's changed you. I seriously, I want to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I went a little longer than I expected to because I really wanted you to understand it. And I want you to be able to live it. And so thank you so much for tuning in. And please, again, subscribe, leave a review, a comment. Thank you so much for being here. I have so much more exciting episodes coming up in 2025. Stay vibrant.